Character of the Week. So, today's Character Week is the cause of many friendships to break up since 2000 up until even nowadays and currently, 2022. John 1:17, better known as the Master Chief. The often overlooked and tragic backstory of the Master Chief begins with a 6-year-old child named John. Catherine Halsey, part of a program, was a scientist who was looking for these perfect candidates for this experiment, for basically make their own version of a super soldier. John had some genetic markings that made him one of those perfect candidates. So, under the guise of thinking that he's going to get adopted or taken to a better life, she essentially kidnapped about 150 kids. In place of those 150 kids, they used these empty shell clones that eventually died. So to the world, those 150 kids weren't kidnapped. They just died all of a sudden of some mysterious disease that no one could ever figure out. But in reality, those 150 kids were trained in forms of hand-to-hand combat, military combat, weapons training, tactics. Basically, it's an intense boot camp up until about the age of 14, where they were then genetically altered to become these super soldiers, part of the Spartan program. Not all the kids survived that program, so we went from 150 children to maybe like a handful of these perfectly genetically altered, augmented soldiers. What set John apart from other Spartans is that he showed some leadership potential and eventually was promoted to squad leader of the blue team. Spartans were equipped with a battle armor known as Mjolnir, which was a highly advanced armor that was receptive to basically thought processes and stuff like that, so that they themselves and the armor can react and help the genetically enhanced person react even better. Eventually, the 4th or 5th iteration of that armor came equipped with AI known as Cortana, which is based off of Dr. Hazley herself. Narcissist much? Now here's the thing that is questionable about the Master Chief, not himself but his purpose. Do the means justify the end? He was originally created to actually fight humans. The military's regime to control, they wanted to have totalitarian control over people. But the priority shifted when the Covenant came. So then they sent the Spartans to then fight the Covenant. Then he's perceived as saving the universe. He became a hero. Again, do the means justify the end? They took and experimented on 150 children and then ripped apart their humanity only for them to make them into the ultimate hero. It's an interesting fact about John 1:17 for being Master Chief's name. For the law was given to Moses, but grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. There was a novel and a soon-to-be comic book series based off of the backstory and more detail of world building for Halo called Halo Fall of Reach. You should definitely look into it. It gives you more lore in between and before all the series of Halo, from Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Infinite. Now, back to you guys.
Like, share, subscribe.